Yeah. Lord Brunson back at you with the back at you, and I am the best reporting on the Eagles. So the dude from The Voice, PhillyVoice.com, Jimmy Kempski, comes out with a very counterproductive article, in my opinion, saying his top 10 reasons why the Philadelphia Eagles are going to be a dumpster fire. Now, we're going to go over these top 10 reasons why he believes this. And, I agree with some of them. I'll tell you the ones that I agree with, and I'll tell you the ones that I don't agree with. First and foremost, I think a lot of these guys are just following suit with what the media has to say, and they're not doing their proper research. One of them really jumps out to me on the radar of how he didn't do his research, but we're going to get into his 10 reasons why we'll be a dumpster fire. And of course, I'll give you guys my 10 reasons why we won't be a dumpster fire. So number one, he's saying the health of Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz hasn't finished the last 3 seasons. He went on to say stuff like that, and that's legitimate. That's legitimate. That's a legitimate concern. I'm not going to say I agree with it because, in my opinion, Carson Wentz finished the last year. He was taken out by a cheap shot. You all know how I feel about that. So, I'm gonna say that's a tie right there. But this whole notion that Carson Wentz is so injury prone, and he even went in the article. He went back to Carson Wentz's college days to prove his point. So, you know what? I disagree with it, as a matter of fact. Number 2, O-line. You lost Jason Peters. And then you lose Brandon Brooks due to injury. Now, I kind of agree with this for the simple fact of this. Everybody Jason Peters was good for us, but let's not forget how many drives Jason Peters killed with the false starts. I want Jason Peters back because I know Jason Peters is reliable, but let's look at how many drives he killed with the false starts. Let's look at it. Something that your guy Carson Wentz had to overcome a lot. So you know what I mean? So O-line, I'm going to agree with O-line because Brandon Brooks went down and you lost your swing tackle, Wisniewski. So I agree with that. So I'll give you a check for number 2. Number 3, Malcolm Jenkins. We lost the leader of our defense. Now, we all know how much Malcolm Jenkins impacted the Philadelphia Eagles defense on the field, off the field, how many things he did for the community. But let's make no mistake about this. When we were garbage, the secondary was bad. Malcolm Jenkins was out there. Malcolm Jenkins wasn't hurt when this was happening. Malcolm Jenkins played every snap, and we still were like the worst secondary in the league last year. So Malcolm Jenkins being on the field or off the field, in all actuality, didn't really do anything good for us. So I'm going to disagree with that right there. Number 4, Alshon Jeffrey's contract. That has nothing to do with anything. I don't understand that at all. So I disagree with that one too. All right. Number 4, the wide receivers. So he's saying the wide receivers, were bad. But, that was addressed during the draft. So you don't know how these... Listen, Mac Hollins is gone. Deshaun Jackson is going to be healthy. Alshon Jeffrey is going to be healthy. You drafted a wide receiver number 1. I disagree with that. He just nitpicking at this point, if you ask me. So I disagree with that as well. Number 4, he said the cornerbacks got better. But, he said something like that. I disagree with that. Now you got a bona fide cornerback. You got a bona fide number 1 cornerback who made the Pro Bowl 3 years in a row. That's going to trickle down. I disagree with that. Number 7, he said the linebackers. I can agree with that. So right now, out of 7, I agree with 2 of his picks. I agree with O-line and linebackers. Okay. Number 8, the salary cap has nothing to do with going into this season. Now, he's looking at it like this, the salary cap. We're slotted to be 50 mil over the cap next season. And he's saying, due to the fact that we have 20 mil in cap space this year, no help is coming. Because in all actuality, we would need that 26 million to roll over to reduce some of that 50 million. So we could be somewhat manageable next season. And I agree with that. I don't think much help is coming, but I think Howie did his job. I think Howie did a fantastic job. So you don't have to go out there and look for big name guys. I disagree with the salary cap being one of the reasons. Number 9, schedule. Schedule is big for me. I really, really disagree with schedule, and we'll get to that in a minute. He's saying because we got a first place schedule, but he's not really busting down the schedule for a guy with his credentials, in my opinion. And number 10, history. History, for the longest, there hasn't been a repeat NFC East champion. There will be this year, though. But that's what he's going off. So I only agree with 2 of his things. Let's go over his list again. Carson Wentz's health, the O-line being in shambles due to the injury, Malcolm Jenkins, Alshon Jeffrey's contract, wide receivers, cornerbacks, linebackers, salary cap schedule, and history. Very shaky. I think he really nitpicked a lot. So listen, we'll get into we'll get into my top 10 reasons. Number 10, my top 10 reasons for why we will win the division again. Period. We're going to win the division again. These are my top 10 reasons. He likes to go to number 7 on his list and say linebackers. I like to go to number 10 and say linebackers, revamped linebacker core is the reason why. You see Davion Taylor. I mean, is he not looking at who he drafted? You see the kid from Temple, Sean Bradley. You see Duke Riley becoming a special teams guru. You see these guys. Nathan Gary, guys are going to turn up this year in the linebacking core. We're going to surprise a lot of guys. So that's my number 10 reason. We're going to go down from least to we're going to go down from best from least to the one. We're going to go down to the worst one to the one that has the most impact. Number 9, a true number 1 corner. Come on, need I say no more? We got Big Play Slay now. Highest paid cornerback in the league. Number 8, Jalen Mills in his natural position. That's going to be huge because you're not going to miss that much production with Jalen Mills stepping into a Malcolm Jenkins-esque role. So I got that at number 8, Jalen Mills. Number 7, new offensive minds. Come on, man. You see we got Press Teller, Rich Scangrello, and Doug Peterson. We don't have an offensive coordinator. We have a huddle of collective minds that's going to be able to get out here and say, listen, this is what needs to happen. Let's draw this up and let's make this happen. Mike Groh wasn't able to do that. And he was in a traditional offensive coordinator role. He said at times that, he didn't know what he was doing. You got Press Teller coming in at his position, and you got Rich Gangrello being a senior offensive play caller or whatever he is. I like it. Number 6, veterans coming back from injury. Deshaun Jackson, Alshon Jeffrey. You know what I mean? And that just speaks volumes because you bolster up your wide receiver group with those 2 veterans coming back. You don't have to say more about that. Number 5, an enhanced pass rush. Javon Hargrave is going to be hard to deal with Fletcher Cox in the middle, period. Number 5 helps out number 9. The more dominant that our pass rush is, the better our cornerbacks are going to play. Dudes ain't going to have a lot of time to throw the ball. Javon Hargrave, Malik Jackson coming back. Derek Barnett is trying to get a contract. Fletcher Cox. You know what I mean? I even hope Sharif Miller come on. But dudes are going to be after it. Oh, come on. How can I forget about Graham? Listen, man. It's too easy for me to give you 10 reasons. Number 4, a comfortable schedule. So he had number 9. He had us having a first place schedule being the problem. Well, I'll go over the schedule for you guys. I think the schedule is quite comfortable, especially for the first 11 weeks. At number 1, you're at Washington. What is that? A 2.5-hour bus ride from Philly. Amtrak ride, 2 hours, something like that. And then you come back home on that same Amtrak to play the Rams. Then you stay home. You see what I'm saying? To play the Bengals. So in your first 3 weeks, you only got to take a 2-hour drive. A 2-hour drive in your first 3 games. You get to sleep in your bed for those first 3 games in your first 3 weeks. Then on your 4th week, you fly to San Francisco. It's prime time, so you get a little bit of that rest back. Then you come back to Pittsburgh, which is only 3 hours away from Philly. And then then when you go from Pittsburgh, from Heinz Stadium, then you go back home against Baltimore. Then you stay home against the Giants. Then you stay home against Dallas. Then you have another bye. Then you go back to New York. Come on, bro. In the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games, you catching one flight. One flight to San Francisco and another flight probably straight. I don't know how they do it. Do they go straight to Pittsburgh? No. They come to Philly and practice, then they catch that train to Pittsburgh. That's a lot of nights of being able to sleep in your own bed. That makes a lot of difference in the world for NFL players. So, yeah. Comfortable schedule. He say the schedule's a problem. I say it's comfortable. Number 3, vertical wide receivers / Howie Roseman. Howie Roseman got us some guys that can create separation now. Howie Roseman stayed true to what we needed. Now, Howie Roseman got Carson Wentz some weapons. Yeah, we'll get to Carson Wentz in a minute. As a matter of fact, we'll get him right now at number 2. Carson Wentz proved to you that he could win with anybody on the field. You can never truly be a dumpster fire if your guy has Russell Wilson attributes, can pull anything out of thin air. You could never truly be a dumpster fire if your guy knows how to get it done against all odds. So I'm going to go right there with Carson Wentz at number 2. Number 1, Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson can coach. Doug Peterson has been the best coach in the division for a very long time. Matter of fact, Doug Peterson has been the best coach in the division since he stepped foot in the division. So you want to give me 10 reasons why we can't do it? I'll give you 10 reasons why we can do it. Let me know what you think in the comments.